So, yes, I hear you. My question is more, how do you reconcile having your research, which is so important, sitting in within positive psychology,
Okay, yeah.
when so much of positive psychology is the happiness?
Okay, so here, man, there are different people, okay? Also, there are different seasons of life, different circumstances. Positive psychology was born in the area of peace and prosperity.
Okay.
So, yeah, when things are going well, so positive psychology is fine. You know, it's not perfect, but it works. It works quite well. But then when the conditions have changed drastically during the pandemic or during Russian war on Ukraine or during 9/11, when the world is suddenly thrown into chaos, when we find that the things that we used to have to make us happy are suddenly taken away. So at that time, our world collapsed. So that's when parapsychology, as usual, is no longer adequate.
Got it.
Yeah, then when we're confronted with trauma, disaster, tragedy, we don't know where to go. We're just like a hero's journey that we're happily going to live with zap. We come to the rabbit hole. We don't know where we will land. So at that time, we start to wonder, what life is all about? Who I am? How can I regain my sanity? How can I still find meaning in this absurd and chaotic world? So that's the time where I come in. Simon recognized that. He said, Simon told me that, oh no, this is time for you. He recognized that is time for me. Because I compliment his approach. In time of prosperity and peace, his stuff makes sense. It's not perfect, mine not perfect either, but mine is more helpful when you're going through trauma, when you're going through adversity.
Yeah, I agree. I also think, though, the time and place for our message is in the time of prosperity. Because in times of prosperity, you're either preparing your mind and your heart and your body for what's coming, or you're not. And to be prepared for a crisis, to be prepared for tragedy, this message that we have, you already have to have it built in. You can't suddenly get meaning. You can't suddenly be calm.
Exactly. Even peace and prosperity, they are still the inevitable disappointment, little conflict, marital problem, work problem. They're still part of life. So therefore, even prosperity, parapsychology, as usual, still is be lacking because it doesn't teach people, say, look, trouble, stress, pressure is just part of normal life.
Yes.
So we have to accept that fact. Not complaining and whining and blaming others. Accept that thing and learn how to get along with it, how to rise above it. So that's why many marriages get in trouble, because they think marriage means happy ever after. Well, that's a dream. There's no marriage is happiness forever. Happiness isn't forever.
No.
There's always something happening. You have to be prepared for the inescapable problem that come our way. Your kid might not behave, Your husband may not be faithful. Your wife might be too emotional. There's always nobody's perfect. That's why I say, I'm not okay. You're not okay, but that's okay. We're imperfect creatures. Be kind to each other, be compassionate to each other, let's help each other to grow, to be more perfect, to be better than before. So then the world will be better. If we accept, this is paradox. When we accept our limitation or inadequacy, then we'll be humble. We'll be more willing to accept our mistakes and apologize. And also we'll be more willing to learn, to improve ourselves. So
I think there can be an arrogance and dismissiveness in positive psychology, in that it says focus on your strengths. I find that an arrogance. I don't only want to focus on my strengths. I mean, a huge part of Seligman's work is PERMA model. So I find that a place of lacking humility.
It's very interesting. According to parapsychology, their own report, that humility is the weakest strength for parapsychology. Actually, humility should be the most important. Right now, they recognize that to be a good leader in this difficult time,
Yes.
humility and kindness are most important.
Yeah.
Not this power and control coming down to people. People just quit. This is the greatest nation. People realize that they don't have to take all the shit. Excuse me, man. They don't have to take all the nonsense from you. They just bye-bye.
Yeah.
So you're humble, willing to recognize your limitation, your mistake, willing to apologize. Then people will like you more. The human relationship will be more harmonious. The workplace will be more harmonious.
I'd go further and say that if I do what positive psychology wants me to do, which is just focus on my strengths, the areas of growth stay neglected and continue to wither. So I've become where I am, and I'm not saying I've got it together, I don't. But I didn't get here by focusing on my strengths. I built skills that I found very painful to build. I faced weaknesses in me that really hurt me to face.
I'm glad. So after this debate with Silverman and his gang, way back in the beginning, the only person who supported me is Chris Peterson. He's a smart man. He said, Paul,
so I'm just going to say for our viewers, Chris Peterson passed away a few years ago. He helped Seligman create the VIA Strengths Profile. He was instrumental in it, and he passed away, but his view on it was a little more balanced than perhaps.
Yeah, Chris Peterson said, don't worry about them, just present your will, okay? Eventually they'll come around. Because any coach will know that everyone has an Achilles heel. A chain is as strong as the weakest part.
Yes.
I told them, I said,
yes.
Your boat is leaking, but your machine is faster. The boat doesn't go very far. Even though you got faster, you develop strength, but the boat is leaking. You don't fix that. They got mad with me. The editor forced me to delete those parts. I go, okay, I delete. But deep down I say, so sad to recognize that any company, any organization, any individual is only as strong as the weakest part. So if I do not take care of my Achilles heel, one day you'll do me in. That's why so many successful people have their life derailed, have their career derailed, because they're not aware that sooner or later your weakness will catch up with you to hunt you down. You can ignore them, they're fine. Eventually, they hunt you down to ruin you.
And what you can't see has a negative impact on others.
Yeah.
So whatever's my blind spot is going to hurt someone else.
Oh, yeah, they do that. You don't hurt yourself, you're hurting other people. Hurting the people who are closest to you, your family, your children. In my therapy, so many children, so many marriages are hurt by people who are not aware of their blind spot, who are not willing to admit that they have weaknesses that need to be corrected, need to be repaired, need to be brought open and talk about it, and find a solution. Simply sweep under the rug. The monster just grow bigger and bigger until it come out and swallow it up.
Yep, I agree.